recording. And I'm going to welcome everybody to One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living. Our beloved musician, Jackie Jones, her mother passed away unexpectedly, and she was scheduled to be our musician for today. And so last minute, next time I'm going to call Nan and have her sing for us. But this time what I did is pick some YouTube videos that I thought would be appropriate for today's message. So I am going to start us off with that if I can navigate it. And I believe that I can. So let's see. Where are we? Hang on a minute. Sometimes things get kind of pushed around on my desktop. So I'm going to fix that. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate it. I'm the only navigator here today. So so here we go. Now I got it, Gisela. I've got it now. And this is a woman named Margaret Owens that I've been listening to for years, and I just adore her. And so let me know if you can't hear the sound for some reason. Just let me do that.
Changing, but all we know, love sprouting up all around us. I have been high and I've been low. I have held on and I have let go. I've walked a path of joy and sorrow, but above it all I'm grateful. Thank you for my health, but thank you for my healing. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for my life. I'm blessed and I am perfect. Thank you for this beautiful day. I have been stressed and been relieved. I've faltered, yes, but I still believe the greatest things that we will achieve are percolating here within us. It's not for me to know the how. I have to be present here and now, to just align and simply allow Spirit's call to guide me ever onward. Thank you for my health, but thank you for my healing. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for my life. I'm blessed and I am perfect. Thank you for this beautiful day. Out of the dark into the light of a brilliant and brand new way. Gazing upon the blessings that abound, flowing to me every day. Thank you for my health, I thank you for my healing. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for my life, I'm blessed and I am perfect. Thank you for this beautiful day. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you for this day. I thank you, I thank you for this beautiful day.
Oh, nice.
You're muted, Michelle.
Yeah, I was gonna.
That's funny. I was saying, oh, I got to stop the YouTube video before it moves on to the next one. Oh, good morning again. I see some people have popped on. I just love that song. Thank you for this beautiful day. She's so upbeat and great. She's one of my all-time favorites. She's some beautiful music. Good morning, Relaine. Hi, Gisela and Lisa. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I am going to invite our practitioner of the day, who is always a joy to listen to, I have to say. One of my favorite people in the world, Rob McGregor, is our practitioner of the day. And I'm going to invite him to do our opening prayer. Morning, Rob. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. That was great music. I really like that. And today, the CSL dictated topic is passionately living your purpose out loud. Now, most of the time, I know Michelle is able to speak on the prescribed topic, and I hope I don't step on her toes with what I'm about to say, because as I have said many times, I'm convinced that spirituality is simple. And as such, I am convinced that I could never be, hang on one second. Yeah, that's good. I'm convinced that spirituality is simple and that I could never be a senior minister because I just don't have it in me to come up with unique messages every Sunday. Anyway, rumor has it that we can't die. Not really. So we're going to be around here for a long time, and we don't have to be in a hurry. My take is, I hope that you're enjoying the ride. I am positive that this physical world experience was and is, as Margaret Owen's album cover said, created to be fun. Now, if that fun experience comes in the form of passion, then more power to you. If that fun experience comes in the form of serenity, then that's just as good. But the operative question becomes, whatever form your experience takes, how good does it feel? You see, you can use the science of mind technology to make your life look the way you want it to. And you can use the science of mind technology to make your life feel the way you want it to. Now, if you're hung up on wanting your life to look a certain way, don't feel bad, because all of us either have that perspective now or can remember having it in the past. So here's my recommendation. Say you'd like to have $20,000 in the bank. Praying for that is fine. But, and this is true, your solutions of today were your problems of yesterday. So pray for that which you want. Pray that you have $20,000 in the bank, and pray that having it feels great. Now, it is possible that your $20,000 will manifest instantly, but in all probability, it will take longer. So pray that you feel good now. I have $20,000 in the bank, and I feel splendid right now. In my experience, a prayer for a good feeling life will result in a much quicker manifestation on average than, say, a prayer for $20,000. That's my experience. Your mileage may vary. But what does this mean? It means that feeling good is not the most important thing. It's also the easiest thing to achieve. So if you are passionate about feeling good all the time, then that is passion well spent. I'm Rob McGregor, and I approve this message. Let us pray. Right now, I am knowing that the universe is a unity. It's you, it is me. It is sunsets and flamingos and Reese's Pieces. It's the whole enchilada. And right now, I declare that that whole enchilada, the part of it that is one heart, one mind, Sunday service, is blessed, is in a wonderful place to receive new information, to receive new insights that help us live a better life now, help us live a more fun life now, help us live a better feeling life now, such that when this is over, we can say, that was good, and I'm glad I came. So thank you, God, that this is so. I let this be. I let this be the truth for us right now. I release my word, and together we say, and so it is. All righty. And I can see Michelle's already all over it. We have, okay. Well, this is close enough for an August affirmation. It's a Michelle quote that says, "Today, I am inspired and uplifted by the beauty I witness in the world around me. It touches the part of me that knows truth. I am reminded that I am the goodness and grace of the divine presence. I am rooted in this divinity. I am grounded, ever strong, and deeply grateful." I just couldn't have said it any better myself. Thank you, Michelle. And do we have Michelle?
I'm going to play another. Yes, we do have something else. I have another song that this one, let me just give my little I don't know what to call it, my little talk before. It's if you know Daniel Namod, he's one of my favorites, and I listen to a lot of his music, and this is from an album called Cornerstone. And I'm just going to share actually the sound. I'm not going to share because it's not a video, it's actually just from my own files. So I'm just going to do the audio and not anything else. So here we go. And let me know.
1, 2,
Hoping you can
3.
hear it. Thumbs up if you can hear it.
Am I nervous? Of course I am. You don't even have to ask. Chasing a mystery anyone would be. One more step and it's out of my hands. There can be no turning back. Can't say what's in front of me. You know I can't wait to see. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just got to do. I don't know what I'll find, but there's one thing I know about my life. It's gotta be, yeah, it's gotta be true. I remember, of course I do, how I used to hear my heart, what I most wanna be, what I most long to see. But that voice has faded so far away, I hardly recognize myself. What happened to me? No wonder I couldn't breathe. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just gotta do. I don't know what I'll find, but there's one thing I know about my life. It's gotta be, yeah, it's just gotta be true. It's been a lifelong habit, gave away my power, playing follow the leader again and again. But my soul won't have it, I won't hide or cower. I'm ready to dive back in. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just gotta do. I don't care what I find, but there's one thing I know about my life. It's gotta be true. Oh yeah, yeah. It's just gotta be true. It's gotta be
It's got to be true. And I liked that song for the reason that we're talking today, all month actually, about our passion and what's true for us, and that we don't have anything, we don't really know exactly how it's going to outpicture, but we know that it's going to be true. It's going to be true to who we are. And I love the line in there when he says, it's something I order myself. It's something I order myself. And we get to order up what it is that we want to do and how we want to show up in our life. So I'm just going to say again, good morning. Welcome to One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living on this glorious and beautiful August day. It's really gorgeous at my house. I hope it's gorgeous where you are. And I like to say to everyone that whether you're here in real time on Zoom or you're watching the Facebook Live or on the YouTube video, I'm just glad you're connecting with us. It touches our hearts. And so this is the last Sunday of August. So today, as I was saying, we're kind of winding up this theme of August, which is my passion, my purpose. And Rob kind of gave us a little glimpse into that. and really what it is, what I interpret this to mean is that we feel drawn to what we are interested in and curious about, and that tends to kind of lead us to what we're here to share with the world. What is ours to do? It's the idea that what we have passion for ignites our purpose. And that when we align ourselves with that inner feeling, that pull towards what we're interested in, we make ourselves available to that flow of life, to the divine moving through us, so that we can express our passions, our gifts. Our passions are generally our gifts outwardly into the world in service to not only ourselves, but in service to the entire world. Whatever serves us, serves everyone. We are one. Quite by accident. Of course, I don't really believe in accidents or coincidence. It's all kind of meant to be. But I ran across something this week that I think brilliantly, maybe unintentionally, illustrates this idea of passion, what passion feels like when we experience it. It's from a woman named Hildegard of Bingen. Hildegard was born in the year 1008 in Germany. And she's sometimes called the Rhineland mystic, or she's referred to, I found another reference to her, and she was called the nun who loved the earth. I love that. And Hildegard coined the term veritas. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but that's the way it looks. And it means the greening of things from within. Isn't that beautiful? The greening of things from within. So Hildegard saw that there was, she called it a readiness in plants to receive the sun and to transform its light and its warmth into energy and life. She recognized that there is this inherent connection between the divine presence and the physical world. She was probably ahead of her time. We certainly know that now. And she saw that connection not only in nature, but in human beings as well, in us too. And she saw how this connection expresses itself as this kind of yearning to live. Do you ever feel that? A yearning to grow and to change and to expand. It's the same thing that Ernest Holmes, our founder, referred to when he spoke about that divine creative urge, this inherent urge to express life. And when we're passionate about something, when we feel drawn to it, it kind of lights us up and it inspires us to act. It's that inner urge to express who we are, to express all of who we are, not just the part that the world wants to see, but really who we are. Do you ever feel that? Doesn't it feel passionate? We see that inherent urge towards life, to express life in that, I always think of this, in that like little lone blade of grass that somehow finds a way to grow through the crack in the sidewalk. I always think, wow, that guy really wants to live. It's this kind of unconditioned, unbound freedom of life to express itself. You can feel it when you're in it. You know what I mean? when you have that veritas, that greening from within feeling. I'm sure you know what I mean. We all know something about this. We've all felt that compelling urge to create something, to do something, to sing something, to play an instrument, to cook a meal, to build a bridge, to build a house, a business, to be in service to some grander vision, whatever it may be. We've all felt that call of life to life. And blessedly, we all feel it differently, which means that we all get to share in this phenomenal variety of life all around us. What Ernest Holmes called multiplicity from unity. I love that line. God never repeats itself, just like snowflakes. No expression of life is the same. And the seed, the greening from within for our tendency, our call to express life, it seems to be planted within us before we even arrive here on planet Earth. I could be wrong, but it seems that way to me, that it's been within us all along, at least the potential for it. So this last week, we got a new dog. A few weeks ago, we got Bo. And then this week, on Tuesday, we got a little girl dog named Charlie. And she's from the Humane Society too. And she's just a little over a year. So she's still kind of a puppy and she has a lot of energy. We really wanted somebody that had the energy of Bo, but this dog's got way more energy than Bo, but they already are BFFs. So that's good. So anyway, I was watching her play the other day. And she just has this, I don't know what to call it, this wide-eyed wonder about everything, just like little kids do. There's no wondering, is something possible? She just dives in. She's interested in everything, as if everything is possible. And it struck me that it's this wide-eyed curiosity for living that makes us available, to the divine flow. When we move beyond the limits of what we've already done, or when we move beyond the limits of what somebody else has done, because we know it's still possible. It's that kind of availability to life. It moves us into the vibration of something we've never done or experienced before. It's just like, the wide-eyed curiosity of the puppy or a child. And it doesn't mean that we have to know exactly how it's going to express. Usually we don't. It means that we become a vibrational match to our good. We open up and we live in the truth that our good is always there, because we know it is. Love is always here. Joy is always here. Beauty is always here. Abundance is always here. Vitality is always here. We don't have to earn it. We don't have to create it. We're already it. And all we have to do is make ourselves available to it, to align with what it is within us already. It's already within us, and to allow that to express, and to be willing to express it in our personal and unique way. Just like Charlie's ready for whatever blessing is right in front of her at the moment. She's standing in the flow. Yeah, oh, wow, this is fun. Oh, this looks good. Oh, let me dig here, which is something that I would prefer she not do. So anyway, there's a story in the New Testament that I thought of when I was putting this together. It's in Luke 5. And I think it really brings home this idea that, everything's already available. It's already here. So the story goes that Jesus was speaking and the crowds were kind of pushing in on him. And he was standing on the shore of, I don't really know where. And so he moved onto the boat and he was standing on the boat. There were two boats. And he was standing on one of the boats speaking to the crowd. And I'm just going to read you the scripture. And the scripture reads, let's see. When he, Jesus, had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch." I love that line. Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch. And Simon answered, "Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets." So when they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. So they signaled to their partners on the other boat to come and help them. And they came and they filled both boats so full that they began to sink. So my interpretation of this scripture, and it's all about the interpretation, is that Jesus was telling them that there is a deep part of ourselves that infinitely supplies us. And here it is. It's always here. It's always within us. It's where we find everything, our nourishment, our riches, any good we desire. We go deep and we find it there. Everything is always available. Everything is accessible in spirit, in God, the all that is, in the deep. Everything emerges from that deep connection, that consciousness. We go within and we make ourselves available to that good that's always there. Howard Thurman, who I love, he called this phenomena, the phenomena that when something unexpected shows up, he called it the glad surprise. I love that, the glad surprise. I used it in this morning's meditation. That moment when something we never expected comes to us and it takes us by surprise, the glad surprise. It happens when we make ourselves available to life, the way life wants to express through us. And we've all probably at one time or another had the experience of the glad surprise. It feels like spirit is telling us that what we are seeking is also seeking us, even if it seems impossible because it's something that's never happened to us before, that we've never experienced. But I believe that when there is a sincere desire on our heart, then the possibility for the demonstration of that desire already exists. And if we make ourselves available to it, things line up. And life leads us forward into action because, we know there's always a move your feet part in the practical application of spiritual principle. And it always begins with our awareness. And then we move into participation with spiritual principle through our dedicated spiritual practice. And then we tend our garden. We do what we're called to do. That funny story about the guy who he keeps praying to God that he wants to win the lottery. And finally he hears God bellow from above, for heaven's sakes, buy a lottery ticket. We have to move our feet. We have to move our feet. Eric Butterworth, who's one of my favorite New Thought authors, he says something that I think is brilliant. He says that God has a stake in us and that God is not someone we reach for, but a presence we accept. And the part that I think is the most brilliant is that he says that we are God's living enterprise. Oh my gosh, we are God's living enterprise. We're the workings of God, but to go back to our parable, we have to cast out our nets. We have to do our part. That's our part. We have to become available. We have to become a vibrational match to the good that we want to experience. We can't just sit in the knowledge that the good is there. We have to do our spiritual practice, move into the feeling tone of veriditas, the greening from within, and live in the expectancy of the glad surprise, not an expectation of how it will look, but an expectancy. To live, what that feels like? When you just know something's around the corner that's going to be good. When you live in that vicinity of the good that is there. There's this really funny story that I ran across, and I wasn't going to share it, but it really made me chuckle. And I know that a good chuckle, a good laugh is really good spiritual practice. There's this woman named Anita Morjani. You probably know her story. She was literally on death's door, and she healed herself of cancer after a near-death experience that she had. And she said, I thought this was good. She said that if she ever had to make a list or the rules for a spiritual path to healing, that number one on the list would be to make sure you laugh as often as possible. So I always like to throw something funny in. So the funny story goes that there was a man from Illinois, and he left the snow in Chicago, and he went to Florida for a vacation. And his wife was on a business trip, and so she was going to meet him in Florida the next day. And so he arrived at his hotel, and he wanted to send his wife a quick email to let her know he had arrived. But for some reason, he couldn't find her email address, but he thought he could remember it. So he did his best, but he didn't actually get it all right. He mistyped one letter, and his email ended up going to this elderly woman whose husband had just passed away the day before. So when this grieving widow checked her email, she took one look at her monitor and she let out this blood-curdling scream, and her family rushes in, and on her monitor, they could read the message, "Dearest wife, I just checked in. Everything is prepared for your arrival tomorrow. I can't wait to see you. P.S. It sure is hot down here." That was really funny. And so I really just shared that so we could have a good chuckle. But the truth is, everything is prepared for our arrival here on planet Earth, our arrival in our good. And isn't that the way we want it to be? To have the way before us prepared so that we can express that passion that's within us with ease. You know, we often just get so stuck, so entrenched in the idea that life is tough. And yes, life is certainly hard sometimes, but the nature of life, the nature of us, is one of infinite grace, infinite blessing, infinite possibility. And the passion that is laid on our hearts leads us to that path of our good, and the good that we have to offer the world. That is just the way it works. You know, a couple of weeks ago, and I was so glad to hear that Rob mentioned this in his his opening, as I spoke about the inner spiritual technology. Do you remember that? I talked about how we have this inner spiritual technology within us, and we all do have it. It's that inner guidance system, and it's in our connection to spirit. And then it is in the way in which we are empowered to participate with life through creative law. So our connection to God and our participation with law, with creative law, that's our inner spiritual technology. And it's constantly working. We are always one with, we turn our attention to, and we consciously learn to use the law, but this spiritual technology is always there. It's always working, and we can learn to use it consciously and in our favor. And to use this inner technology to participate with, I'm tripping over my tongue, participate with life consciously. And let's be clear, spiritual principles are inner technologies, are technologies, because they're constant and they're unchangeable and they're repeatable. Laws that are repeatable are always there and unchangeable. And they have an inner relationship with all areas of life. You know, we participate with it, you know, and we use this consciously by being awake, by being aware of our thoughts and our feelings and our actions, to stay conscious. And, you know we all always have choice. You know, we always are at choice with how we participate with this inner spiritual technology. And you know what, as metaphysicians, we know that we build our lives choice by choice, moment by moment, and that our part is to stay awake and aware of what we're creating, because these inner technologies are always saying yes to whatever we're setting into motion through our thoughts and our feelings and our state of being. You know, our inner spiritual technology is it's this powerful force that directs energy. We know that everything's energy, even our thoughts and our feelings. And just to realize that we are empowered in this way, it's kind of mind-blowing, really. I ran across this photo. I didn't share the photo, but I'm going to just tell you about it. There is, in Chicago, there's an art mural. We could probably look it up, but it's on the side of an art academy. It's this full-blown wall mural, and it's called Sowing Seeds. And it depicts a community as if it were a garden. You know, the sunflowers are dancers, and they're all dressed in yellow, and the children are sprouting up from seeds out of the ground, and there's these outstretched arms that make up the branches of trees, and there's roses meditating in the garden. And at the top of the mural, and this is what caught my attention, the words at the top of the mural are, "Love is law." And the artist, whose name is Brian Taylor, says that no matter what neighborhood we live in, everyone must have a chance to bloom into a greater vision of themselves. And I love this idea that that love is law. And we can all do that. You know, love is law. It is the inner spiritual technology that we have at our disposal, and we are empowered to use it and to bloom into a greater vision of ourselves through that. Love is law. How great is that? You know, Ernest Holmes told us that the mind of each one of us is the mind of God and functioning at the level of our perception. So let's perceive things at the level of God, of possibility, and bring that about through the law of love. Love is law. You know, practical application is the hallmark of the science of mind philosophy. We talk about spiritual principles, the truths of our philosophies, but practical application is necessary for the principles to operate. We have to do, remember, Ernest Holmes always told us that we have to prove principle. We are here to prove principle, to demonstrate God into form, to demonstrate spiritual truths, to demonstrate the power of the presence of God and the action of law. That's huge. That's so big. That's who we are, doing that all the time. So I've said a lot today, but there's one more thing that I want to draw our attention to before I end. And that's that when we use this inner spiritual technology, I think it's important for us to do it in the spirit of gratitude and in the spirit of celebration. You know, just like laughter and humor, it opens us up. You know, and sometimes I think we underestimate the power of living in an attitude of gratitude and celebration. And when we're in gratitude, we are celebrating life. You know, and this is a huge piece of conscious creation. Let's not sweep this under the rug. The energy of gratitude and celebration, it puts us in the emotional vicinity of playing in the imagination of God, you know, where infinite possibility exists and it can be activated by our attention, just as if we were puppies or children. You know, there's a funny story about a guru. I'm a lot of stories today. The guru was sitting with two of his disciples, and they're sitting under the banyan tree, which is the tree that the Buddha was enlightened under. And one of the older disciples says, how long must I wait to realize God? And the guru says, hey, you know, enlightenment isn't something you can predict, but since you ask, it'll probably be about 20 more lives. And the disciple says, oh, no, I can't wait that long. And so then the other disciple chimes in and he asks about his enlightenment. And the guru says, liberation will come to you after about as many leaves as are here on this banyan tree. And the second disciple takes a hold of this possibility and he says, he jumps up to his feet and he starts dancing around and offering prayers of gratitude. He's so grateful that ultimately he really will be enlightened and liberated. And he was ecstatic with appreciation. And then at that moment, he transcended the mind and attained liberation. He was in the vicinity. He made himself available. You know, so never underestimate the power of gratitude and celebration. You know, they ramp up our vibration. They activate that inner spiritual technology. And we know that we attract into our experience what we're a vibrational match to. Our vibration creates our experiences, and it schedules the lineup for all coming attractions. Gratitude and celebration put us in the vicinity of our good, of God, of all that is available to us. So I invite you this week, be aware, be awake, be open, feel that veritas, the greening from within. Participate with your inner spiritual technology and expect moments of the glad surprise. Expect it. So let's pray from there, from that feeling, that vibration of celebration and gratitude and expectation of good. Let us live there, activate that with our inner spiritual technology, and know that as we live here, as we connect with this oneness of our being, the essence of who we are, as we dive deep and cast out our nets to collect our good, we are fed, we are nourished, we are supplied, we are in bliss in every way. So I'm just so grateful for this. I'm grateful for an understanding and experience of God and law and all that we are offered in our humanity through our divinity. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, all that is. We celebrate this infinitely. So relax in knowing this with me. Relax in knowing that all is well and that all is ordained by God to be good. So for this, we say thank you, we allow it to be, and together we say, and so it is.
It is.
That glad surprise, waiting for that glad surprise. Oh, okay, I'm going to turn this back to gallery view so I can see your faces. Well, I invited, Jean was supposed to be our benedictor today, but she's in Costa Rica celebrating her 60th birthday. So we are going to invite our wonderful Relaine to do our time of conscious giving.
So this is our wonderful time to share our financial support for One Heart, One Mind. It really is a wonderful place, One Heart, One Mind, that we can be all that we want to be and to express our true gifts and then bring that out into the world. So one way you can donate is through Venmo, which is very easy at One Heart, One Mind Center, or you can mail a check and the address is right there on the screen.
There you go.
Thank you. Sacred giving. Everything flows from the nature of God's good. We receive from this flow and we give from this flow. We give in gratitude and in love. We have faith in the infinite giving nature of spirit. And so it is.
Oh, thank you so much for pinch hitting, I guess it's called. It was beautiful. Thank you. And we'll come back to you for the benediction in a minute. But in the meantime, I'm going to head on over to Yvonne and see if she's got something to tell us.
I have a little bit of stuff to tell you. Monday evening prayer group is from 6 to 6:20. And it's our time that we get together for silent prayer. And please join us on Zoom. You can get the numbers you need online. And what we usually do is pray for one heart, one mind, or whatever else you feel you would like to pray for. And then on Tuesday evening, we have our spiritual learning circle from 6 to 7. On Tuesday evening, we will be discussing living a life of acceptance, which sounds very exciting to me. I would love to accept it. That's part 8 of Michael Singer's book, Living Untethered. And you're all welcome to come, whether you've read it or not read it. We can get you through it. And I want to remind everybody about unexpected income. If you don't expect it, you're not going to find it. It's not going to come flying into you. So please do that. Last thing I have is for you to visit Rev Michelle's Facebook page, Spiritual Recovery, a Journey of Positive Change. And it's especially for those who are working on addiction recovery. That's it.
All right.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Yvonne. Yeah, we got to cast out those nets. I
That's
like
right.
that. I like that parable. So maybe it's not a parable. Maybe it's just a story. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go back to Relaine.
All right, so let's just close our eyes and just feel the gratitude for the amazing energy that we received today through Reverend Michelle's talk, through Rob McGregor's beautiful beginning and prayer. I mean, I think we're all having $20,000 in our savings account now. That's feeling very good. And I love Hildegard, the nun,
Yeah.
the earth nun.
Yeah.
We include her in this prayer as well. And I'm so grateful for just such the reinforcement that we receive from One Heart, One Mind to be our true selves, to live our true selves. And it's really okay. And it's way more than okay. It's why we're here. And it's really wonderful when we can not only be ourselves here, but take ourselves out into the world and give our gifts and receive others' gifts and just be at that higher energetic level of giving and receiving. And, really how beautiful and wonderful that is. I know that spirit is always cheering when we're being ourselves and expressing our gifts, and being true to ourselves with kindness and compassion and love. And love and law are one, and love and law are just such a wonderful, beautiful combination to live our life, knowing that these principles are true. And so I just have such gratitude in my heart for this morning, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And I just see the beautiful, your beautiful selves expressing and opening up to be more and more of who you're meant to be in every moment. And I'm so grateful. I release this prayer into divine law, knowing it is already so. The prayer is answered, and I release it with love and law. And so it is.
So it is.
Beautiful. Thank you, Relaine. Thank you so much. So I was kind of on the fence of what I was going to do, the short gratitude ending video with Jan Garrett and JD Martin, or a YouTube video, a grateful song. And I'm going to choose the YouTube video. I don't know. Spirit's telling me this is the one. So here we go. Oh, let me get out of the way and I will start it. I think I've played this to you guys before in some venue. Play.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything
All
is a
that
gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learned every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything
all
will feel
that I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all.
Every day I sit and pray cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now
and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings, everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings, everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
Well, if that doesn't make you feel good, that's a feel-good video. That's what you play when the world seems dim. And today it does not. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to go ahead and turn our live stream off. Thank you all for being here. And turn off the recording.